Hi guys, welcome. If things go according to plan, this is going to be my first YouTube video. So welcome. And this one I definitely feel a bit like less nervous than the other video I had planned. But the other video, it's definitely very in-depth. But welcome. So if you are not familiar with me or my face, you might have seen me on TikTok. I go by CloudyTarot, just as here. A little bit about myself, because I feel like I've never given myself a proper introduction. I've been reading tarot since the end of 2018. I was going through a really hard time, and then I started reading tarot and also learning about astrology. And I'd like to give thanks to Anita Serene, because she was the one who basically, I believe she showed up on my YouTube, and then I checked out her videos, and then I bought my first deck, and from there I was doing readings on my friends and then my family, and then I decided to branch out onto TikTok. Now, little fun fact, my first TikTok page did not work out, but this was videos where I was trying to do pick cards, and I don't think I work with that style. I might try to post some of those types of style videos here in the future, but for now I think I'm going to stick to this sort of theme video. The other video I have is by your zodiac sign, so do expect that in the future. Basically, like, I'll put timestamps. I'll try to figure out how timestamps work, and I'll put like each section is giving like different advice according to your sun, moon, rising, or Venus. So just check out your signs according to the timestamps and all that. And I feel like that's the sort of theme for my videos. I also do want to do like some tutorials on how I learn tarot, maybe some astrology videos, just sharing my opinion, sharing my wisdom, that sort of thing. I think that would be very fun. And of course, I'm very interested if you guys have any sort of comments, requests for videos. I will definitely take that into consideration. But yeah, aside from that, make sure to subscribe. I feel so silly saying that. And let's get on to the video. So today I'm just gonna do a little blind reading. I want to know, you guys need to hear some sort of advice. And I did a reading on TikTok earlier, where I was giving blind advice, and I'm definitely in a very big like wisdom mood today, so that's just the sort of energy. I feel like you guys really need some sort of wisdom, so let's get started. I'm going to, if needed, I will say any confirmations. I feel like this won't be too relevant to this video. I feel like if you see this video, this is the advice that you need to hear. Like, truly, if you were drawn to this video, I feel like it was meant for you. I feel like listening to your gut feeling, listening to your intuition, if you're drawn to this, then this is for you. Otherwise, take what resonates and leave out the rest. And yeah, I feel like in terms of confirmation signs, I feel like I'll say them, like I'll say like random ones if I pick up on anything. But other than that, I feel like that will only be relevant to specific scenarios, perhaps like love readings, that sort of thing. So yeah, let us get started. Now, the deck I'm using today, this deck was a gift. I've gotten a lot of questions about it. It was a gift, and it was literally given to me like this, with an elastic band around it. So I don't know the exact name. I know it's a standard Rider-Waite, and if you look closely at the cards, it has like these gold like linings to it. It's a very beautiful deck, and I definitely have to say it's one of my favorite. There was someone who asked me what my favorite deck is. It's definitely this deck, because it is so easy to shuffle and the cards are so beautiful. And in the future, I definitely want more of these like gold, these like black or gold decks. I know there's a rose gold one that I really want. There's just a standard gold one I really want. But yeah, anyways, enough my yapping. If you're not familiar with my style, I do ramble a lot, so if that bothers you, I'm very sorry. But that's just my style. I feel like it's easier to go on autopilot and just kind of pick up on whatever's happening, and I feel like everything I say does typically have some sort of relevance in one way or another. But that's just my style. So I apologize if you don't like it, but yeah. Thanks. One more shuffle. Oops. Okay, I'll take these. Let's clarify this. So there's this energy that you are in a rest period right now. And I feel like you're in this rest period because you are trying to bring balance into your life. With justice here. Libra might be significant. You may be a Libra. There is definitely air energy. I feel like this is in terms of your motivation. You guys might be a bit burnt out at this time, or you're trying to find that spark within yourself. And it's reminding me of a reading I did the other day on my Etsy, where a customer had asked, how do I refine like my creative spark, right? And they were asking this question about that, and I was basically, the advice I had received for them was to find inspiration from their struggle, right? And that's definitely in terms of like, if you have a creative career, that will differ from person to person, right? But in those regards, it's very important that like, there's a quote I heard the other day. It was something about like how art eases the disturbed, but can also disturb those who are at ease, or something like that. And I think that's a very interesting quote, because you can't restrict art into any specific way. I feel like if you have a creative outlet, and this is something that I could relate to as well. A little fact, I used to be very, very into art, and I used to run a Instagram page that I would post on every week. It goes by the name of Xoftri, Xoftri, and on this page I would post every week, and you could check it on Instagram. It's still there. I haven't posted in a while now, but every once in a while I do think about it. I do think like, oh, what if I went back to this? And there's definitely a theme about motivation here, and just like your art, I feel like art is meaningful to you in one way or another, so I feel like you guys are definitely creatives. But I did find it hard for myself, because I was always trying to push art out every single week, but then I ended up starting to hate it, because I was trying to put myself out there. I guess I was like a bit stressed, because I was like, if I stop posting, I'm gonna lose these people, like this crowd that I've gained, this sort of thing. But then pushing myself to put something out every week was just so difficult for me that I just like, I couldn't do it anymore. And then I just started hating painting. And like, I don't hate it completely. Like, I painted something the other day. I would say like, I'm not as good anymore. I do still, like, I have some Canva of like paintings that I've painted. They're not anything like what I used to do. I used to do very like realistic art. But where I am now, like, I can only manage to do like abstract paintings, and these abstract paintings are very much like, I would say they're not exactly disturbing, but they're definitely like, it's using my disturbing emotions to fuel it. And I feel like that's very good in a way because it's like it's an outlet for me. And I feel like if that's the way that motivates me, then I think it should be fine, right? So I think with you guys, like, if you have to use, like, I'm just hearing like redirection, right? If you notice something you're struggling with, and also I don't know why my face is flaring up, so that's fun. Just pretend you don't see that. If you are struggling with like managing your emotions, I feel like finding an alternative outlet could be very beneficial to you guys at this time. Specifically, I'm hearing like if you have issues with anger, I'm hearing like taking up boxing. Just something that's like causes movement. I find like maybe something like sports might be something a bit like I'm hearing like something like soccer, hockey. Hockey could be good, but I'm hearing like something like soccer might kind of bring out this aggression within you, and it might be troubling for like that sort of thing. But I'm hearing like being active, like working out could be something beneficial for you to do. This might also be a reminder, like asking you like, hey, you gotta prioritize your health, like you gotta get back into the gym, that sort of thing. Because there's definitely this energy of just kind of like, it's definitely going into like your inner core. I feel like self-care might be important here, and just as much so like resting is important. You guys might have been so focused on work, you might need to rest. You might need to take a moment to just give yourself some time. I'm saying like give yourself a day just to have a shitty day, okay? Like I'm hearing specifically like if you guys have constantly been go, I'm hearing like give yourself a day this week, like give yourself like 4 hours. I'm hearing, so 4 might be significant, but I'm hearing like give yourself 4 hours to just like do nothing, or just do something that you would consider unproductive, because within this time you might feel like it's you're having like rest. Alternatively, I'm also hearing just like spending these 4 hours doing something that you used to do. Like for those of you who are burnt out, I would say give yourself that time, those 4 hours, to just do stuff that will bring you peace. Like this is like, you know, a deep clean, like giving yourself like a face mask, or taking like I'm hearing like an everything shower, simmering down, like painting, watching your favorite TV show, playing like video games. I'm hearing that sort of thing, because I feel like within life it can get very heavy, and I'm saying like seeing how this goes, like trying that this week, and then maybe putting it into your schedule. If it's possible, do it next week. If it's not possible, do it 2 weeks from now, and then you have something to look forward to like within your life, right? Aside from that, I'm hearing if you are a creative and you are struggling with being creative, right? I'm hearing like sit down, give yourself like an hour or two, or like up to 4 hours. We can use that example too, right? But I was specifically hearing like an hour or two, like less time to focus on just whatever. And I'm specifically hearing, right? Give yourself an hour and just draw whatever you feel like drawing. If you can't get a spark about like what to draw, there's so many like creative activities that you can do. And like, for example, there was one that I used to do where I would draw random lines on the page, and then I would like create something from that, right? There's an activity. Or like scroll through Pinterest, pick out a random picture, and then from there do that, right? Like draw that, be creative with it. You don't have to like try to be realistic, just like try to do something that's not your usual like art stream. I was also hearing in terms of if you produce music. I was hearing like if you're the type of person who's like creating beats for like rap songs, or like if you are producing like these in-depth like beats, I'm hearing like take a step back and like think about like a video game that you liked when you were a kid, and design a song that's like that video game. Like that could be something like a fun, unique task that you could do, just like a little exercise like that. For others, like if there's just like, if you've stepped out of a creative outlet, I'm just hearing like try to revisit it. And this is something I've said in my videos before as well. And this can go for both groups, whether it's like you're burnt out or not, like you're burnt out or you're having like artist block, that sort of thing. I have always said, and I feel like I think I've read somewhere that this is like actually a psychological thing, but when I am struggling, right, if my mental health is not good, I will go back to things from my childhood, because no matter like if your childhood was good or bad, it's always good to revisit the things that made it good, right? For example, my favorite game in the world is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time, or Explorers of Sky, the better one, okay? If you guys know, you know. And I literally have a tattoo for it, okay? I literally have a tattoo for it. I love that game to death. And I've probably played that game 30 times, start to finish. I played it several times when I was a kid, and I'll probably revisit the game like once a year, right? Start to finish, I'll just play it, all right? And within that, like, I feel at peace with it. A couple weeks ago, I was like just out of it. You know, like sometimes you get in these slumps where it's like you want to watch something but you don't know what you want to watch. Everything's just like so boring. Like I have these phases where I go to Netflix and then I'll go to YouTube. But then like I was in this phase where I was like, I don't want to watch any of this. Like everything's like, it's all gross. I don't like it. So what did I do? I watched SpongeBob. I literally watched SpongeBob, and like I sat there and I was like, wow, like this takes me back. Like I remember this episode, and like it was nice. It brought me peace, and I felt like very aware of my like space at that time, and like it was just very peaceful. So I think something like that could be useful for you guys at this time. Moving forwards, what else do you guys need to know? Now there's this one card here, but I just kind of want to see if there's something following up with it beforehand. Let's give it one more shuffle. Which is interesting. The happiness card. Like I was saying, going to your roots of your happiness could be something that's very beneficial to you at this time. Or like if you're stuck in a rut in general, I feel like going to a place you were at before can help you in general, right? And I'm also hearing physical locations might be good. There might be like a restaurant that you used to go to when you were a kid, and like try it out. And like for those of you who like are far away from where you grew up, right? Or maybe this restaurant closed down, like stuff like that. Think about like meals from your childhood that brought you happiness. And this is reminding me of a conversation I had with my cousin. We had talked about well, this was just it was a random conversation. We were obviously not sober at the time, but she brought up like, do you ever have meals that like you just remember so clearly and in detail? And I'm thinking like like that's the sort of energy I'm getting as well, like revisiting like old meals. Like obviously I'm like throwing out a lot of these sort of ideas for you guys to try, but I really feel like trying one of these can help you bring yourself out of this rut. And I feel like overall it could just help you find balance. There's definitely this very big energy of finding balance. There's a lot of air energy here, to be honest. Well, we have Libra and Leo energy, but aside from that, we do have a lot of air energy here. Aquarius and Gemini, so that might be significant. But with the scales within justice, and also we have the Two of Swords here, but in reverse, it just seems like you guys are trying to unravel yourselves and try to, like, I'm hearing like lay it all out and just kind of like organize yourself. And I feel like if you practice these things, like incorporate these sort of things into your schedules, it could be very beneficial for you. And I was also like hearing like seize the day, like just this sort of energy, like you guys really need to take a hold of the things that matter to you. Like I feel like you've really lost your way. I feel like you guys are trying not to stray from your path. I feel like you're not necessarily doing anything wrong, but I feel like the energy here, it's almost like you guys are like on a midlife crisis, a quarter life crisis, or it's like you just kind of feel lost at the moment. You don't really know what you're doing. And I feel like those of us who are like in our early 20s, we often get confused. We get confused if like we're going down the right path. And I feel like sometimes we just need to take a step back and like think about our life as a whole, think about how far we've come. Because if you think about it, like, and I'll say this all the time, right? Obviously, we're different from who we were 10 years ago. We're different from who we were 5 years ago. But if you think more closely, like 2 years ago, completely different person. Last year, you've changed a lot. You've grown a lot. You've learned, okay? And maybe you haven't changed a lot. Maybe you don't realize the growth that you've made, but I feel like revisiting things from such a long time ago will help you just understand how change is important, how change is good for our growth. And I feel like a lot of people are scared of change, but at the end of the day, it's constantly happening, and it's good. Change is good because that just shows how far we've come, right? Now I'm gonna see if there's any last minute messages for this reading, but I feel like in general this reading was just discussing like self-care methods. I feel like you guys really need to take initiative when it comes to how you care for yourselves. You might, like I said before, you might be a bit lost. You might just be in this really weird energy at this time, and I feel like it's gonna be very clear to you once you try out these things. Like, and I'm specifically hearing revisiting things from your past. If you don't know what you're doing right now, I'm specifically hearing some of you are gonna pick up old hobbies and it's going to be better than it was before. I'm also hearing like trying these new hobbies will give you a new form of inspiration. It'll give you more clarity about what you like doing in life, and it'll give you more guidance. Because with the star here, I'm literally seeing like, and I don't typically read this like this, but I'm literally hearing like it's like the light at the end of the tunnel. It's something that will just be like shown to you so brightly. And I feel like aside from that, like just kind of like uncovering these different things, these different topics about yourself, like understanding your past, like this, regardless, it does seem like a form of self-care. And it's reminding me of a reading I did just before this, where I was talking about how a cycle is ending, right? A cycle, and I'll just discuss this a little bit. If you guys are interested in this reading, it's like a 5-parter that I released today. It was, for those of you who are seeing this in the future, on the 20th of February 2024, okay? And basically in this reading I was talking about like you guys are ending a cycle. Within the cycle, you are understanding the way that you express love, like maybe love wasn't working out for you this cycle, but within your next cycle, your basic, like the ending of the cycle, you're basically understanding who you are as a person, your authentic self, and you're also learning that like love exists. Like you might feel like love doesn't exist, but you can know that love exists because it exists within you, right? And within that, it's very important to know that like moving forwards, like within a new cycle, like understanding this part of yourself would basically initiate like more positivity to come into your life. And I feel like similarly enough, like in that reading I discussed like, oh, within this new cycle I feel like love is going to come into your life, like it's going to be like an invitation almost that might be significant. And then I also talked about how like even though you're starting a new cycle, you have to constantly still keep working hard on it. Like obviously like you might be scared to love, but like you can't be in love without trying, right? And I feel like similarly enough, like within this new cycle, you're gonna have to keep working at it, you're gonna have to keep working hard, but I feel like it's good to remind yourself of these sort of past energies, like this way that you were caring for yourself at this time. Like if you're leaving this video and you know what you need to do, these things that you're implementing into your life, you're revisiting, if you consistently do that, I just feel like you're raising your vibration. And within that, I feel like there are blessings heading your way. I'm also seeing that within the star and the sun card, where like your happiness will be easier to achieve because you feel more in balance with yourself, you feel just more at peace, like there's this energy of like serenity, and aside from that, I'm just hearing like there's some sort of blessing coming your way, and I can't say for sure if you're gonna receive this right away, but I feel like overall, like your overall happiness, I'm hearing like it's like a threshold, it's like you're leveling up, right? And I feel like within this new threshold, you will start to see like more positive things come into your life, and it'll just be able to, like you'll be able to appreciate things more, which in turn will help you attract more into your life, like overall raising your vibration. And you might see this in other tarot videos, or just like if you're a very spiritual person already, like sending out this sort of like good karma, like what goes around comes around, and just like having this sort of positive energy will help attract positive things into your life, that sort of thing. So I feel like just overall revisiting these sort of things, working on your own happiness, working on just revisiting things might help release these sort of blockages that you're having right now. And yeah, I feel like that's all I really need to say for your reading. If you guys are interested in a personal reading, you can book one through my Etsy. Now, I'm gonna have to add the link to my YouTube, but I'll try to do that as soon as I can, but it might take me a little because I might forget. But otherwise, my Etsy shop is called Cloudytarotandoracle. You should see a picture of me there. Otherwise, check out my TikTok. It's Cloudy Tarot, but the O is a 0. There's a link tree there. You can also you could tip me on Ko-fi, that sort of thing. Otherwise, please like send me a comment if this resonated. Otherwise, make sure to subscribe and everything like that. And I'm super excited for this new chapter in posting YouTube videos, and I really hope that moving forwards, like this starts making more sense to me, and that just, I'm very excited for the future. Yeah, I feel like that's all today. I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope to catch you in my next video.